You know, we're often taught to think that reevaluating the role of alcohol in your life is some kind of weakness. We're made to seem that when we overdrink or we're just questioning whether this routine habit of drinking is serving us somehow means that we're broken or that something's wrong with us. Here's the thing. If you're here, you are questioning, you are curious, you are ready to reevaluate the role of alcohol in your life. Maybe you're already taking a break. Maybe you're living happily alcohol free and want to reinforce this new lifestyle. Taking a break and reevaluating the role of alcohol in your life can be the most life changing thing you literally ever do. And in today's video, I'm going to show you why. When you take a life changing break from alcohol, you do so many things for both your body and your mind. And I'm going to show you today how it's not for someone who's only struggling, but someone who's ready to have a journey of self-discovery, someone who's ready to introspect so deeply into who they want, who they are, what they want, and what they truly need from this world. That's the thing, is the clients that I work with are the bravest, most intuitive women because alcohol has literally given them an opportunity. Everybody in life has these habits that don't serve them. Everybody in life is sleepwalking at some point or time. Everybody in life can be unintentional and unaware about the things they do on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. Alcohol is your opportunity to have a wake-up call, to actually wake up to what you really want to make your legacy on this planet, what you truly want, what brings you organic joy, what really makes you happy, and how you want to show up authentically. And I'm going to show you just exactly why. When you take a break from alcohol, first of all, your body and your brain go through a massive healing cycle. So studies have shown that just 5 weeks without alcohol actually has the capacity to lower liver fat by 15%, reduce your blood cholesterol by about 20 points, reduce your blood pressure, and grow gray matter in your brain and new neural pathways. It's actually one of the healthiest things you could possibly do for your body. At the same time, when you do the mindset work, when you really start to question why you've come to like alcohol in the first place and how you can question those and deconstruct those beliefs to find if they really serve you, you do something fundamental for your mind. You fundamentally start questioning your thoughts and your beliefs. Because here's the thing, your thoughts aren't true. Most of our thoughts are completely autopilot, mindless thoughts. In fact, studies have shown that we have around 60,000 thoughts every single day. 95% of those thoughts are repeat thoughts from the day before, and 80% of those thoughts are negative. What's going on in our brain, the chatter in our brain, is on autopilot, and most of the time we're not really aware to what it's telling us. We have these beliefs, these assumptions that we just carry on believing, these stories that we believe. Stories about our life, stories about who we are, stories about what we can do, and most of the time they're incredibly limiting. We are infinite beings with limitless potential. And yet the stories in our mind tell us a different story. Stories in our mind make us feel scarcity and fear and doubt and worry and sadness and frustration. And alcohol just adds to that mix because alcohol literally physically changes the neurochemistry of your brain. And that's the next really exciting thing that happens when you take a break from alcohol. You change the neurochemistry of your brain because it rebalances. Alcohol actually lowers our receptivity to dopamine. When we drink, very much like you can imagine like a rat that they're doing in an experiment in one of those labs, when you give it alcohol, what happens is it gives us this artificial surge of dopamine in our brain. Very much the same like cocaine does or sugar water might to a rat. This artificial surge of dopamine is such a huge spike, it's not actually anything that's replicated in nature. What that does over time is it actually lowers the receptors. They shrink back in our brain from dopamine. Meaning when you naturally feel dopamine, when things in the world naturally are supposed to give you that hit of joy, it just doesn't work anymore. Your brain is literally numbed to the natural effects of dopamine. It's just not very receptive anymore. Because when you have these huge high spikes from alcohol, the normal spikes that you're supposed to get, maybe from playing with a child or taking a walk in the woods or eating an ice cream, they just don't register in your brain anymore. Which means that as drinkers, our natural state is to feel mostly apathetic and dull most of the time, maybe even a little sad. And then the only joy you get is from drinking. When you let your brain rebalance, those natural surges of dopamine start to register. Your dopamine receptors come back, and you get to experience more natural joy in your life. Alcohol also lowers our levels of serotonin and GABA, two other neurochemicals that are responsible for making us feel calm, at peace, relaxed, and happy. And so alcohol really does a number on our brains. And when you take a break, you can expect these neurochemicals to rebalance to their natural state. See, for me, I had been drinking since I was 18 years old regularly. I honestly never even knew what it was like to be an adult without my neurochemicals being on havoc because of the way alcohol was messing with my brain chemistry. When I took a break from alcohol and allowed that to rebalance, it takes a few weeks, my natural state was so much happier, so much more calm, and so much alive to my life. Here's the thing. Alcohol, in effect, numbs our thoughts, worries, and feelings. And when it numbs those things, it's not only numbing the bad stuff, it's also numbing the good stuff. Alcohol literally makes it impossible for your brain to feel natural joy. Our neurochemicals like dopamine and oxytocin and serotonin and endorphins, all these things are meant to bring us joy and make us feel good. These chemicals make us feel good in our lives. And alcohol is robbing all of those from actually naturally manifesting in your brain. So not only on a neurochemical level can you expect to have maddening levels of new joy, senses of appreciation, gratitude, awe, new perspective, and honestly getting to know your emotions in a new way. Because like I said, alcohol only does is it numbs. And there are emotions that aren't very positive as well. There's anger, there's sadness, there's frustration. And every single time we drink over those emotions, we're not letting them teach us. We're not letting them be healthily processed and actually making shifts in our lives where we need to. Our emotions are our greatest teachers. They actually come from our body, the physical states of our body. The hormone levels are literally reacted by what our body is doing in that moment. And when you constantly numb over your emotions, you're not letting them be your teachers for what you really need, for what you really need to serve you in your growth in that moment. Our emotions teach us to form boundaries. They teach us to make shifts in our life. They teach us well-being. They teach us how to find more inner peace. And constantly drinking over those only makes it impossible to process them. And we shove them down and we shove them down and we shove them down. And after years and years and years of doing that, there's so much pent up lack of growth there and inability to design the life that truly serves you. Because when you get to know yourself, all of these emotions, both the positive and the negative, you get to know what you really want. You get to know what you really need, how to take care of yourself, who you really are authentically without alcohol messing in with your neurochemistry of your brain. The thing is that alcohol tricks us into thinking that it makes us happy. We get that dopamine rush and we automatically assume that this brings me joy, this is fun, this is, a great time. But the thing is, it's just tricking your brain. It's just tricking the lower and mid brain because of that spike of dopamine that comes up. And what it does in tricking your brain that way is it stops your ability to discover what really makes you happy. It stops your ability to actually go out and find your own joy, create your own joy. We weren't meant to be passively entertained by a beverage with going fireworks off in our brain. We were meant to be active agents in our lives, active agents in creating our own joy and creating our own fun. Today, I see a huge canvas in front of me. Not only have I been alcohol-free for over 3 years, I see so much beautiful mental space, mental clarity, and mental passion to design the life that truly serves me. I designed it in the big ways, the foundational steps. I've made shifts to my career. I've made shifts to my legacy. I've made shifts to how I give back into the world. I've made shifts in my friendships and my connections and bonding and deepening my relationships with my partner and my family and friends. But I've also made the small shifts, the small, beautiful shifts that this empty canvas has given me. More moments of seeking out joy, more sunsets, more sunrises, more hikes in the woods, more feelings of relaxation through meditation and baths and breath work and sound healing, more feel-good books that enliven me and make me feel empowered, more life-changing thoughts and beliefs that serve me and not those self-limiting ones. You see, when you take a break from alcohol and you start stacking up the days, all of a sudden this Achilles heel, this thing you thought you could never do, that confidence and pride starts spilling over into all other areas of your life. You can go 1 week without drinking, 2 weeks without drinking, 3 weeks without drinking. Holy hell, who are you, Superwoman? And that pride and confidence starts spilling into other areas. Like, what else could you do? What other stories have you been telling yourself that were limiting you? And now you can start to topple those too. You can start to gather evidence that really the stories and the thoughts and beliefs that don't serve you are just that, just little stories. And you can start to push your limits and get out of your comfort zone and do all kinds of things that you never thought were possible. In my course, Become Euphoric, clients actually have a whole week dedicated to having new experiences in their life. They push the boundaries. They try things like tango dancing and aerial yoga and stand-up paddleboard and writing group and kite surfing. All these crazy things, literally, their ideas are so tremendous. They inspire me so much to see and push the boundaries of new experiences. Because these new experiences, these dates with yourself, actually enable you to connect deeper with your intuition, your soul, to know what the next step is in your life, to know what your true passions are, and how to actually manifest your fullest potential, whichever direction you land. For me, I knew once I took a break from alcohol, all of this life-changing magic was too good to give up. While I started with a break that had an end date, I decided to keep going because this is a life I'd never lived. The beautiful mental state I was able to create for myself enabled me to literally go after my biggest dreams in life, my biggest goals. And I cannot believe what I've achieved since I gave alcohol the boot. If you're excited about taking a life-changing break from alcohol, I highly encourage you to join me in my course, Become Euphoric, which will give you a deep dive into your own self-discovery. Deconstruct and uncover these unhelpful thoughts and beliefs about alcohol that are not serving you, all the ways we've been conditioned to believe that it makes us cool and independent and relaxed and pampered, all these things that strip us of our personal power because it gives the personal power away to a beverage. All of these beliefs that don't serve us, and replace them with beliefs that do. If you're excited about taking a life-changing break from alcohol, be sure to join me in the course, Become Euphoric. I'll include a link below. And you know, right now is the best time ever to really reevaluate the role of alcohol in your life. Studies have shown that in 2020, women are drinking 41% more than they ever drank before. It's been a really crazy, hard year. And yet 2021 is just around the corner to develop new habits, new ways of being, new ways of managing emotions, new ways of managing thoughts, and actually using those as guideposts to learn about who you are, what you really want, and what you really need. You deserve to discover what brings you organic joy. You deserve to discover your fullest potential when you're not held back by this mental toxin that tells you a story to play small and stay in your comfort zone and just manage your life by getting by, instead of designing a life that you really love. I hope you join me in the course. Thanks for joining me today, and I am wishing you the absolute best 2021.